I think one of the biggest disservices that I tend to see happen when it comes to content around manifestation is that a lot of it preaches about how manifestation is instant and how there shouldn't be a lot of time between what you're trying to get. But in reality, when it comes to manifestation, I truly feel like a lot of it is learning how to embody and become. So it's something that can sometimes be fairly fast, or sometimes it's something that takes time. So like so many times when people are trying to attract in abundance, they hear all these people talking about how they've attracted in, resources or money and stuff like that. But in reality, they have to consider, like, okay, what is practical for them where they are currently standing? Like, how do you approach getting to an abundant standpoint from where you are? And then how do you make that new perspective, or at least that new source of abundance, like your normal thing? And that could be something as simple as getting a better job, learning how to do this skill, like doing the stock market or doing that. It could be pretty much anything, but it's still the concept of at some point being a vibrational match to something, and that still requires effort to a certain degree of becoming. And again, you can always manifest anything you want just by aligning your thoughts, but I'm gonna tell you that shit's fucking hard. And if it were that easy, then everybody who's trying to manifest simply wouldn't be struggling so much. You wouldn't hear so many people complaining about how they're trying to manifest abundance and all these things. And it's, again, not to say that you can't, align your mind to simply just attracting in miracles and stuff like that, but sometimes you have to simply be practical. And then even if you are trying to, because I'm not trying to put a limiting belief on anybody, right? Even if you are trying to then approach the concept of, attracting in these miracles, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for your mind to accept this to be a thing. So if you're trying to work up to that, one of the best ways you can do that is still going to be by embodying or becoming. However, at this point, your point of attraction be trying to, embody and become somebody who attracts in these opportunities and these miracles and these, amazing things to happen. So since your subconscious is programmed, and since your mind is programmed to not experience these things on a natural base, on a consistent basis, once you start then, trying to shift your focus to these miracles and to these really cool experiences, that's where you start to then build belief that it's something that becomes natural to you. Once you start seeing something happen in your reality once, twice, three times, however many times, it becomes something that's normalized to you. So it's not something that's hard to do at some point. Like when it comes to us manifest, I know so many people, for instance, have absolutely no resistance when it comes to seeing angel numbers everywhere. And angel numbers are simply you manifesting a sign. Like you are manifesting that to a certain degree. And people are like, oh my God, I see them everywhere. I see them everywhere. It's because your mind has absolutely no resistance to that. And then at some point you start seeing them so frequently, it's just a very natural. And it's funny, as I look down, it was literally 2:44 when I said that. But as you start to see them frequently, you start to simply accept them as a natural part of your experience. The same thing when it comes to any metaphysical thing. It's just that when it comes to certain parts of manifestation, it might be a little bit harder for your mind to bridge that gap depending on what it is. So I really think the biggest thing is just trying to do a couple things. Not to say you have to limit yourself, but to maybe start small if you're struggling with what might appear to be a big manifestation and build up. Try challenging yourself to do like little mini manifestations that are ramping up into something bigger. You can manifest something like, okay, getting compliments on this, getting, a free coffee, getting somebody to notice something specific that you've done and start to then try and incorporate within that, or incorporate that in your experience. And that's also part of glamour and beauty magic too, and trying to enhance your looks. It's like you start to then enhance certain parts about yourself, see how people start to respond to the changes that you're making, and then you start to build confidence in those changes, and that's how reality starts to reflect those changes in the things that you're doing. So a lot of manifestation is truly a lot of just becoming versus what I think a lot of content creators gloss over. I think they really have the intent of saying like it's just instantaneous and easy, which it really is. It can be and it is, but I think once you are at that point of being that vibrational match, and then you are kind of like consistently then experiencing that thing. Once it's normalized to you, and once you're used to it, then it becomes easy. But if you have a lot of resistance to something, then that's not uncommon. And I think that a lot of manifestation teachers might not state that honestly, or maybe they're not aware of it, or maybe they simply just don't view it from that perspective. But resistance is common. So I wouldn't be frustrated, or I try my best not to be frustrated when you are not able to manifest something that should be seemingly easy. Because again, sometimes the more we try to do something, the more it kind of backfires. And it can create frustration versus allowing things to kind of unfold as we walk towards that path. And then as we walk towards the path of what we're trying to do, we start to then get all those experiences that then help us become, and it becomes a lot easier that way. Like, longest story short, when I was trying to become a tarot reader, I started being able to do readings for people for reviews, and then I started doing them for donations, and then I started doing them for payments. So it's kind of like I got led down the yellow brick road, and initially I had no idea of how I would be able to read for another person, but it kind of started to unfold over time. But either way, peace and blessings. I hope you guys have a great day.